Hey YouTube subscribers, drone enthusiasts, anybody stopping by my channel, thanks for doing that, by the way. I have a different kind of video tonight. This one here, because there's a lot of hype about this new DJI FPV drone, which is pretty cool. It's kind of a bridge between GPS camera drones and the true FPV drones. It's really not for me, and I'll explain why in a minute here, but for those that are doing it, I'm really excited for them. And this video has, and by all means, has nothing to do with me trying to convince you any other way, but I just want to give you some options if that FPV drone is not for you. One of the reasons is, for me, is because, you know, I already have these goggles right here. These are pretty good. I also have the Fat Shark goggles, and I've played around a little bit with FPV, but I'm not very comfortable wearing the goggles. I do have corrective lenses that fit into these right here for reading and seeing the screen up close. But it's more for me, it's the situational awareness. Maybe someday they'll have a little 360 camera on top of the headband, and there'll be a picture-in-picture inside the screen where I can kind of see what's going on around me. Also, you're supposed to have a visual observer. Most of the times I fly by myself, so there's certain things. I just like to be aware of my surroundings all the time, and these are kind of like blindfolds, and you just are so immersed in what's going on here that for some it's good, and for like me, I'm just kind of in the GPS camera drone world. My option is the DJI Phantom 4 series and the Mavic series drones that use the Go4 app, the DJI Go4 app. And I don't know if for the Mavic Air or for the Mini, the other apps that are being used, if they offer this, but if you go to the three dots in the upper right hand corner and you pull down the menu, there will be a separate page selection for the gimbal settings, and normally it's defaulted to follow mode, but if you select FPV mode, it changes the dynamics of how the camera operates on the drones, on those two specific drones using the DJI Go4 app. So I will explain that, and then I have a little video towards the end of this little movie bit that I'm making here to show you that. And it does give you a nice cinematic FPV drone look of banking, sweeping turns, and I think that for a GPS camera person that wants to put that into their video content, that's a very viable option. You can do it with the goggles, or you can just do it from the tablet or your cell phone screen on your controller. But let me explain to you how this works, okay? So this is going to get a little bit noisy. The fan on the Phantom 4 is pretty loud. So the 3-axis gimbal that stabilizes pitch, yaw, and roll to smooth out. It also tries to keep the horizon horizontal, and that's nice for some cinematic GPS camera drone shots that we take with these things. So the camera actually leads and lags a little bit to try to anticipate the movement of the drone and smooth those out so you don't get those jerky motions. So you can kind of see here in the yaw movement, the camera is slightly leading and lagging. The roll axis is pretty fast, and so is the pitch axis. But that camera is in the roll is always trying to keep that horizon level. When I switch the app settings for a gimbal to FPV mode, the 3-axis gimbal statically, it looks the same. It's trying to stabilize all the movements as if we were in follow mode. But the difference is, and this is kind of ingenious, when you use the roll or the bank on the right joystick, left to right movement, the camera will actually roll left and right, anticipating the banking of the drone or the aircraft. So I'm going to go ahead and move the joystick to the right. The camera is going to go, and naturally the drone would tip to the right as we roll to the right, and the same thing rolling to the left, to the right. Let me turn this off for a second here. And in order to pull this off, even on a regular FPV drone, if you coordinate the roll and the yaw movement, you'll get that nice sweeping, smooth look as you're going into a banked turn. Kind of like a car going down a Daytona track, and it has those high bank corners there. The drone will bank and turn around very, very smoothly. The flight rule for using this successfully to pull this shot off is when you do the roll maneuver, you should also do a yaw maneuver at the same time, and that's a coordinated turn. So it's a yaw and a roll at the same time, and you want to have forward speed as well. The closer you are to the ground, the slower the drone speed can be to pull this off. The higher you are, further away from the ground, you need to be at a faster speed. Of course, you can do things in post-production, but this is a very viable option for people that don't want to get into the FPV world, or that really nice drone from DJI. Like I said, I'm excited about it. It's not for me. I'm afraid it would sit on the shelf. I don't use these things very often. They're nice to have, but I think that drone, where you solely depend on the goggles to use the drone, it would sit, I think, for me. So enjoy the bit that's coming up here. I'll show you the software. I have some video screens that I'm using to demonstrate that, and then I put together a little video with a sound. So thanks for tuning in. Until the next time, any questions that you have, leave them in the comment section below. I'm pretty good about getting back to them. My channel's kind of small, so I can kind of get to everybody. Thanks a lot. We'll see you in the next bit.
Thank you.